What is good, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Muthana, and welcome to another edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals with me and my main man, Caleb. Caleb, how are you, my man?
I'm great. We just got through an NFL draft. I'm very excited to talk about it.
I am too. I think my Giants did pretty well. I think my Giants did pretty well.
I don't
They
think they ever
drafted
do well with anything.
well, y'all are drafting a. Shut up, Caleb. All right, you know what? Zip it. All right, we got some dudes. We got some dudes. But before we get into it, everyone, I'll just like remind everybody to make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. We're at 96 subscribers. We're almost to 100, which is four more. Just four more to 100. We get to 100, then we just keep building from there. So really appreciate it. Currently of taping. We know we know you guys know that we talk about a little XFL via Caleb. As we tape this, the XFL second semifinal, or the Northern Championship, is being played currently. The DC Defenders versus the Seattle Sea Dragons. As of this moment, the DC Defenders are winning actually 23-9 as of this moment. So when you guys watch this on the replay, or when we drop 29-9 now, when you guys are watching this, when it drops or on the replay, the DC Defenders probably have already won this game. So it's going to probably be DC versus the other winner of the Southern matchup, but we talk about a little bit later. Arlington. But I was going to say,
now it's 39.
Now it's 39.
Yeah,
that was 29. How did it go to 39?
Because he just got the extra point.
So it's 30.
Yeah.
So yeah, you said, I heard 39. I apologize. But also too, I want to shout out a special group of people. Shout out to our patrons. Shout out to all our patrons out here. We appreciate you so much for your support and extra support. And also too, if you want to be that extra layer of supporter, Justin's here going to tell you how to do it. Justin, tell us.
Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. As little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
Like I said, man, you guys, 4 tiers, 1, 5, 10, and 15. All I'll say is this, man, the $15 tier, a lot of bang for your buck. That's all I got to say. Big bang for your buck.
I just want to say that my birthday's coming up. So if you want to, give me some merch, you can go in and do that.
Yeah. Go to that. We have Good Friends, Better Rivals hat. So join it. But I digress. Now let's get right into it, Caleb.
I was mostly talking about you, by the way.
Me?
You want to buy me something?
You want me to buy you something?
From the merch store.
What?
Yeah.
What?
It's called Good Friends. We're supposed to be good friends.
Yeah, I know, but but we got to keep the Better Rivals aspect of it.
We'll forget that part. We'll go with friends.
Whatever. All right, fine. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Hey man, does not bring up. I've bought you something. All right. I think I've bought you the best thing in your collection. Okay. All right.
I would not say that. That is incredibly wrong.
Well, speaking of collections. Well, not even collections. See, speaking of Cowboys, let's talk about it, Caleb. I forgot to ask you about this last week. You met Emmitt Smith.
I did.
How was meeting Emmitt Smith?
It was awesome. I can show you what he autographed. In just a moment, I'll just gotta get right.
Caleb's about to get the. I think it was a football. Maybe I don't fully know. Caleb's about to show us. In a minute. Yeah, Caleb. What was it?
Right there. There's his autograph.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yep. Look at that beauty. The only thing bad about it is that it's a Cowboys football. It's the only thing that's bad about it. Disgusting. But meeting Emmitt Smith's pretty dope. Meeting Emmitt Smith's pretty dope. The third greatest running back of all time. It's pretty awesome. You know what I mean?
No.
So that's wonderful.
Whatever.
It's wonderful.
We're not gonna get into that because it gets me angry when. Well, whatever. But yeah,
well, you'll start yelling at me. Talk about Troy Aikman.
But yeah, he is the reason why I am NFL KF 22. He's my favorite player of all time. He is the first memory of watching the Dallas Cowboys I have. And it was awesome to meet him.
That was nice. All right, but now speaking of another Texas team, let's get into the XFL. Caleb, we had the Southern Championship come to bout. It was Arlington. It was Houston. Houston has been running roughshod over the South. It actually beat Arlington. I think. Did they sweep Arlington? Was it 0-2 in the?
Yeah, they swept
two,
them.
They swept them. But Arlington came back and beat Houston in the Southern Championship. Caleb, break it down. What happened, and how did Arlington finally beat the Houston Roughnecks?
Yeah, probably the biggest move of the season is the Arlington Renegades trading for Luis Perez in the middle of the season from my Las Vegas Vipers. Getting him was pretty much changed. They have had a terrible. They are the worst offense in the XFL throughout the regular season. They can't score points. The reason why they score points is off of turnovers. They get a ton of turnovers. Actually, I think they're the best in turnovers because they get one every single game. And that's how they end up winning, the 4 games that they won is through turnovers. And so their offense was just so bad, and they needed to change. And they got Luis Perez, and he's finally got, he's been a few weeks into the offense, and he's obviously gotten to know that offense now. And he was rolling, man. He was awesome, and he was tearing up Houston defense, which is the best defense in the XFL. So he wasn't playing, some crappy defense. He was playing the best of the best, and he was tearing them apart. And he was perfect. He was on target to all his receivers, and he shredded them, man. And then they end up killing them. They beat the Houston Roughnecks pretty bad. What was the score?
26-11.
Yeah. So they are the South champions, and they will probably be taking on with that. Barring a miracle, would be taking out the DC Defenders, and that's going to be a tough game for them. DC Defenders also have another good defense. They're probably the second best defense because they're holding the Sea Dragons and Ben DiNucci, who has been the best quarterback in the league, and they've held them to 9 points so far in midway through the fourth quarter. So that's going to be another tough challenge for Luis Perez to overcome. But I think he can do it. I think it's going to be a hell of a game between this new reinvigorated Arlington Renegades versus a team that's just been tearing apart all the teams in the DC Defenders.
All right, I think the biggest key, Caleb, in all of the XFL was QB play. Your quarterback dictated your game. Houston's biggest Achilles was QB play. Cole McDonald, Brandon Silvers, inconsistent. Some days you would get great games from Brandon Silvers, and some days he goes 3 for 6 or 22 yards. And they went with Cole McDonald most of the game. He went 9 for 25 with 82 yards and an interception. So it's all about QB play. Like Caleb, the teams in the XFL, DC has Jordan Tamil. Sea Dragons have Ben DiNucci.
He wasn't good at the beginning. He was in the first half of the season. He wasn't good. I mean, they basically rode off of Abram Smith. He put the whole team on his back, the whole offense on his back, and then he started coming on in the second half of the season. That's why they start, scoring a lot more points than they have been. And now they really feel like a complete offense with the DC Defenders.
And then St. Louis Battlehawks, AJ McCarron. It's all about the quarterback in these secondary leagues. If you have a good quarterback, you can do a lot. Same thing with the USFL. Shout out to the Houston Gamblers. They won, even though finally they won. Shout out to you, Mark Thomas.
Yeah,
No.
Gamblers finally got a
Thompson.
win. The Pittsburgh Maulers finally got a win as well.
Yeah, Pittsburgh finally got a win as well.
They have
anything from the USFL, Caleb? Anything?
That was probably the biggest upset of the season so far in the short season. The Pittsburgh Maulers getting that win over Philadelphia. The Stars were in the championship last year, and they have not gotten off to a good start, 1-2 so far through 3 weeks. But the Maulers,
Actually,
like I
Caleb,
said, great win for them.
The Stars Either they're the Philadelphia
Yeah.
Stars or the Baltimore Stars. Fun fact in the USFL's history: every single championship game in the USFL's history involves the Stars. All of them. Literally all of them. Last year's, in the 3 years, in the 3 years previously in the 80s when they were there, they won the title as I think they have two titles, as one as a Philadelphia Star, and I think the other one is a Baltimore Star. So the Philadelphia Stars, or the Stars in general, have been in every single USFL championship game. All of them. So could that streak stay alive? I don't know. Maybe not, because if they're going to lose to Pittsburgh, I don't think you're going to be doing very well, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. Case Cookis hasn't been as good as he was last year, and that Mahler's defense, man, led by Reuben Foster. Reuben Foster was everywhere in this game. For
I haven't heard that name in a
pick,
while.
right? Yeah, he was
the Niners'
pick,
first
right?
round pick. Yeah, he was the Niners' first round pick.
He was going off in this game. Led the team tackles, got an interception. Was doing everything for the Maulers, and he was causing a lot of problems for Case Cookis, who was really good last year, but just hasn't gotten together this year. Like you mentioned, Houston Gamblers finally got their first win over the Memphis Showboats. Showboats just haven't got it together so far. Like I said, they're the new team. They're trying to get things together, but trying to find a way, and they still go 0-3, still winless there. But another huge upset was I guess not huge, just in the fact that these are the two best teams. It was a great game, 45-31. New Orleans Breakers upset the Birmingham Stallions. Like I said, Breakers were going to be tough to beat, even though it sounds, had been going 2-0 for the first two games. But the Breakers end up winning this game. Which was surprising, even though I did think, like I said, I thought they were two best teams anyways. But Bethel Thompson, man, he's playing great. I think he's probably one of the, if not the best quarterback in the league right now, because every game he's like scoring 3 or 4 touchdowns, man. He's going off, and they also have another the running game has also been great. With the running back, 191 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game, unbelievable. Like I said, 45-31, big scoring game, and great upset win for the Breakers. Could they go undefeated? Maybe, may not. They look like they can, because this offense is just great.
My Lord Bethel Thompson used to play in the CFL, actually. I think he actually has a CFL championship, I think. Let me double check that. Because he has been around. He's 34 years old. He has seen some things, if you know what I mean. So I think he actually has he's a 2-time Grey Cup champion from 2017, 2000, and 2022. So he's a champion. He was with the Toronto Argonauts. So he was the Toronto Argonauts. I don't know if he was the starter or he was on the team. But let me see. Let me just double check this. Yep. No, there it is. Okay, he was an Argonauts during the preseason games. Double checking. He made the roster as the 4th quarterback, which is an irregular decision. Yeah, no, he was a 3rd stringer, so he's actually didn't win anything really. So yeah. He just
guy with a lot of experience, and he's taken that experience into this league, and it's obviously it's helped them, because they are now 3-0.
Yeah, but he did win the 2022 Grey Cup championship as a starter. So there's that. But then, he got hurt in the championship game, and Chad Kelly led the Argonauts to a championship win over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Shout out to Winnipeg. Shout out to Rob Snark. Shout out to them. All right. Yeah, he was a backup for James Franklin. Because Franklin ended up getting. Yep. So he's been around championships. He's led teams. So makes sense that he's leading the New Orleans Breakers in the positive direction. All that experience. Yes. Anything else, Caleb, from the XFL, the USFL?
No, that's about it. Just got excited. We got the XFL championship to watch. So I gotta look up the time real quick. What is that? That's next week at Saturday, 5:00. So look for that because that's gonna be an exciting game. Renegades looking different against the DC Defenders, who've been great all season.
Perfect, Caleb. Perfect. I'm trying to find something that we're gonna use later. All right, Caleb. Now let's get to the nitty gritty, the meat and potatoes of the show. Giants, Cowboys. Yeah, the NFL draft was past weekend. It ended yesterday on Sunday. Started on Thursday. No, it didn't. Ended yesterday on Saturday.
Well, I guess if you count signing undrafted free agents.
UDFAs. Yeah, so we're not going to talk about the UDFAs yet because they're still being tracked. So we don't really know. We could have both teams could be done doing it now, or they may add people a little bit later. Because personally, I think the Giants should have added a couple of other people that I think, but they didn't do it because I personally think they should have went after Ivan Pace Jr. was one of the UDFAs, but he then signed with Minnesota. So there's that. I think a lot of those players don't want to be picked in the later rounds because UDFAs, you get to pick what team you want to join. So you want to be a UDFA. You don't want to be a 6th or 7th round pick or even a 5th round pick. If you think about it, you want to be a UDFA. You want to fall outside the draft because you want to pick your team. You don't want your team to pick you. And so I think Ivan Pace Jr. and a couple of other UDFA people are happy that the UDFAs because they can go to the team that they want. They can sign with them. Like currently some of our UDFAs, some of your UDFAs. But now let's get right into it, Caleb. Well, the way we're going to do it is we're going to go round by round. We're going to talk about both our picks in each round. So now with the New York Giants first round pick, the New York Giants selected Deonte Banks. Deonte Banks is a twitchy athlete. He's rangy from Maryland. He's 6'1", 197 pounds, almost 200 pounds. He is what Wink Martindale wants in a defensive back. He bump and runs. He's man. He runs with you. He ran a 4.35 at the combine. He had a 42-inch vertical. He is that guy. He hadn't allowed a catch over 30 yards all season. He's fast. He's tough. There is a shot that he may be a good blitzing cornerback. Because what if Wink Martindale sends him on a blitz? Probably, and that 4.3 speed really helps in that case. So I love this pick. This was the primary need for the Giants. It was receiver and it was cornerback. And the thing is, people were like, why didn't the Giants trade up for a receiver? They could have went from 24. They had to go from 24 to 19 because when 20 hit, 20 went receiver, 21 was receiver, 22 was receiver, 23 was receiver. Those teams right there weren't going to trade with the Giants. They had to trade to either 19 or 20. No, 19 or 18. And the 18 was the Lions, who they went linebacker with Jack Campbell. I don't remember who 19 was. Kel, do you remember who 19 was?
No, I have to look at it.
All right, that's perfectly fine. But they saw the run of wide receivers, and they were at 25, and they were like, "We need to get our guy." It hit 23. Jordan Addison came off the board. They're like, "We need to take our guy."
Was Elijah Cansey.
Oh, it was Tampa Bay. Okay, guys, so Tampa. So the deal would have been with Tampa or the Lions. What if the Giants did call them? What if they're like, we want that pick? And what if they said no? It happens. You could give somebody a deal like, hey man, I got this deal. What do you want this pick? And he could have been like, nah, I don't want that, bro. I don't want it. Just because it didn't happen does not mean your GM didn't try to make it happen. That happens. So he saw that the run of wide receivers was going. Then at 24, 24 was who? I don't know who originally was 24.
Were they looking
Don't
at any of
remember.
those guys?
Who? The receivers?
Yeah, all were the Giants
Oh
looking at
yeah,
any one of those
two of
two
them.
guys that went
Yeah,
back
it was two. Yeah, two of them. It was JSN who went 20, and it was Jordan Addison who went 23. It was them. And then the Chargers got Quentin Johnson, and the Baltimore Ravens got Zay Flowers at 22. So at 20, JSN, 21, Quentin Johnson, 22 was Zay Flowers, and 23 was Jordan Addison. It was Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, and JSN. Those were the guys that we were looking at. And those teams weren't going to trade with us because they wanted them too. Just because I know you want them doesn't mean I'm going to give you that pick because I want him. So I'm going to keep it. So that's what happened.
So they just you think they just got wiped out? So they went corner?
Yeah, because corner was the secondary need. Like not like secondary need, more like a 1B, because you needed corner and you needed receiver. And they knew which corner they wanted. They wanted Deonte Banks. That was their number one corner. And they traded up a spot to make sure they got him, because when 23 hit, Minnesota picked a receiver. 24, they're like, what does 24 want? So like, we have to go to 24 to get Deonte. We had to. A lot of people were like, why don't we just wait and get Joey Porter Jr.? What if someone on Twitter said, I think it was I think it's Papa Chicken Cabaret. I think that was his name. He said it perfectly. What if they didn't want Joey Porter Jr.? They didn't. What if he wasn't their number one corner? What if their number one corner was, probably their number one corner was Devin Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez, but they were already gone. But so Deonte Banks was right there between Deonte and Joey. They wanted Deonte, so they went after Deonte. Who cares? They don't want Joey. If they could get Deonte, they went to get Deonte. I think he's a perfect corner for Wink Martindale. Perfect corner. I think he's a perfect corner, man. Personally, he's the third best. Some people think he's the third best corner in the draft. 1 and 2 were Devin Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez, one of them, and they went pretty high. Devin Witherspoon went 5th, and of course he went 5th to the Seahawks. It's a Seahawks pick, man. It makes sense. And then Emmanuel Forbes went to Washington. Yeah. Emmanuel Forbes went to I think it was 16 to Washington. Washington loves their Mississippi State guys. Mississippi State guys. So yeah. Who cares that we traded 2 day 3 picks? I don't care. You don't care about no day 3 picks? Get out of here. Like, I ain't mad. Go get your guy. Go get him. You saw somebody and you got him. Good for you. But now in the first round, we pick number 26. 26. The Dallas Cowboys selected Mozzie Smith. Caleb, what popped in your mind when you guys drafted Mozzie Smith?
Well, what popped in my mind, I was like, ugh, Michigan. Yikes.
No. Taco?
Taco. Exactly. Taco? That's what every Cowboys fan had, just like a vague memories of Wolverine. Ugh, don't want that. But he's different. He's a different player. You can't go back and say, oh, he's Taco. He doesn't even play that position. He plays the tackle. Mm-hmm. So it's not nothing like that. This is totally different type of guys. Guy's gonna not gonna be judged off of his sacking, because that's what Taco was gonna be judged off of, how many sacks he got. He wasn't really much of a sacker. So that's why he didn't get a lot of sacks. So he didn't really work out for us. But this guy's not gonna be judged off of that. He's gonna be judged off what he does in the middle, because this guy's a big, huge guy, big, strong guy. But that he can move too. He's gonna help us stop the run. That was the number one complaint I had this season. I mean, I talked about it almost every single Good Friends, Better Rivals, talking about we can't stop the run. We just couldn't stop the run. And this guy is gonna help us do that. We saw the need there. We're tired of getting bullied by the 49ers for 2 years in a row now. This guy is going to help us, get some, big toughness there, right in the middle. He's going to go right there with Jonathan Hankins. who re-signed. So we have two big guys right there in the middle that can help us stop the run down. And if everything works out, I mean that's going to be a solid rush defense for us. And that was a big problem for our probably the biggest problem for our defense last year. And that's going to this pick is with Mozzie Smith is going to solidify that.
Yeah, Mozzie Smith was a part of Bruce Feldman's freaks list. He's a freak. He's a freak athlete. And you would, Will McClay basically said this. You're a clay mold, you're clay, and I trust our coaches to make you into a eventual starter. Basically, he basically said, I trust my coaches to coach. Because Mozzie Smith is an athlete, man. He is that athlete. On the NFL, his prospect grade was a 6.34, which means he'll eventually be a plus starter. So the projection is he becomes better than Jonathan Hankins. He becomes what Jonathan Hankins is now, but slightly better. That's what the athleticism and the grades, come out to be. They seem as of kind of like, shout out to, I think it's Lance Zerline. He said his comparison was Dontari Poe. Caleb, if I told you just drafted Dontari Poe, what would you think?
No, that sucked because when we had Dontari Poe, he did nothing, got his ass kicked every play.
Oh, wait, Dontari Poe for the Cowboys? I thought it was a Chief and
he was
Eagles.
awful for us.
I thought it was a Chief and Eagles.
Awful. He was an awful free agent.
Is that why I don't remember?
We signed him as a free agent. He was terrible for us. I think that was like in the 2020 season when we had the worst defense in Cowboys history.
Oh, the one before Dan Quinn?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, but Smith's size and quickness is rare, though. That's something Dontari Poe didn't have. Yeah, so there's that. So his strengths, he possesses a rare combination.
I don't know how he did with the Chiefs. He probably was better with the Chiefs.
He was good with the Chiefs and the Falcons. Yeah. Because I know he was a Falcon too. I think he was a part of the Super Bowl team with the Falcons. There's that. He's bendy in his lower half.
That's why probably Dan Quinn wasn't there, so I don't know.
No, he was. Dan Quinn was the head coach of the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm saying he wasn't.
No, but afterwards. So. But here's the thing. Yeah. If you signed him when Dan Quinn was there, I think he would have played probably better, because Dan Quinn would have probably used them differently.
Yeah. And that's why I trust this pick. Some Cowboys fans don't really like this pick. Maybe they want someone flashy or whatever. Other experts, giving it an average grade or whatever. But those type of picks work out for us. I mean, every time we get some late round pick that not everybody's in favor of, usually works out. Especially when we're getting an interior guy or an offensive line guy. So I'm happy with the pick. That it fills a need, and Dan Quinn, does magic with anybody. So I'm sure Dan Quinn's going to work with them, and he's going to turn out great for us.
Yeah, well, the Cowboys and Will McClay, they don't care about that value thing. They don't care about that. They don't care that you're like, oh, this guy is this guy is 25th. You got him at 35. That's a great value. They don't care about that. They made it very clear to you. You know why they made it very clear to us, Caleb? They drafted Travis Frederick in the first round. They don't care what the mock draft gurus say. The draft gurus, they don't care. They don't care. They draft who they want when they want. Sometimes you got to stop. Jerry from trying to draft Johnny Manziel, but that rarely happens because Will McClay's like, let's draft.
I mean, but sometimes that works. But sometimes that kind of stuff works out because then we trade up. We get like a Dez Bryant, we get a CD Lamb. So sometimes that works out. I
don't think I traded up for a CD Lamb though.
Well, I know we didn't trade up. I was just talking about trading up for Dez Bryant. We did do that. But I'm just saying we get a guy like CD Lamb, or it works out that way. And sometimes it doesn't. Like when we got traded up for Morris Claiborne, that was really bad.
Yeah, that was bad. Or drafted Taco Charlton. Shout out to Taco. Shout out to you, Taco. Hope you have a great Taco Tuesday. But he does have some certain weaknesses. His motor runs out of gas when the tempo heats up. But what other what other DT doesn't. He struggled. He
That's why
struggled against
that's why you got
Iowa
Jonathan
zones.
Hankins. If he runs out of gas, then
That's why you
play
got
Jonathan
Jonathan Hankins.
Hankins. So there you go.
Yeah. He lacks anchor consistency against double teams. I think that comes with strength. He's gonna be in an NFL strength program. He's gonna get stronger. He's already a freak. I think it's gonna help him with his lack of consistency over there. But now let's move on to our second round picks. And the pick is in. The New York Giants drafted John Michael Schmitz in the second round. He was a lot of scouts and draft gurus, everyone. A lot of people agreed that he was the number one center in the draft. A center did go in front of him in Joe Tipman. I think he went to the Jets, which is funny. But a lot of people think the Giants got, John Michael Schmitz. Some people say it's an elite pick, A+, A. He's gonna start right away. The Giants we've needed a center since Sean O'Hara retired. He's a big boy, man. He's big. He's 6'3.5", 301 pounds. He started 36 games over 4 seasons at center. He's a center. This is not like, he's a guard, you play him at center. No, he's a center. He's Ryan Kelly. You play him at center. First team All-American. He was a finalist for the Remington Award. They used a lot of zone. The Minnesota offense used a lot of zone. It relied on a lot of zone sweep runs. RPOs, Minnesota did a lot. Guess what the Giants do? They do zone, they do RPOs. And people were like, can he do it? Does he have the athletic quickness and the moving side to side? Could he do it? He did. He does. He can do it because he did it at Minnesota. He did it at Minnesota. You clearly see him do it. He can do it in the NFL. Probably. He just looks like a hog molly, man. He just looks like a hog molly, and I love those guys. They smile at you and they're really nice, and then they just shove you into the ground and try to pun you through the dirt. Those are the guys. I looked at him. I was like, oh man, what a sweet what a sweet guy. Probably goes to church. He has breakfast with his grandma, but he's probably a man who also wants to break you in half on 3rd and 1. You know what I mean? It's my type of guy. So there was that. I think so. The Giants ended up getting 2 players that were projected to go to them at 25 before they moved to 24. Like literally the first 3 picks at some point in the draft process, the gurus were saying this guy's at 25 or this guy's at 25 or this guy's at 25. The Giants got all 3 of them at different points of the draft. And I think Joe Shane in the first 3 picks was a masterclass performance. But now I digress. I'm happy about this pick. I'm a big fan of John Michael. I've been saying for years, we need draft 4 offensive linemen. I don't care. Draft offensive linemen, period. We need offensive linemen. And we got our center. We got our center.
That's what you guys have been doing. I mean, you got 2 first rounders on the edges, and then you got the second round pick in the middle. So I mean, I've been doing that, solidifying the offensive line. Trying to help out Daniel Jones. Get tore up back there. So doing it right. I mean,
hey man, and we gotta beef that up because there's a team in Philadelphia that got a whole lot better in the draft. Got a whole lot better. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah. All right, but now in the second round, the pick is in. The Dallas Cowboys selected tight end Luke Schumacher. Caleb, break it down. Shoemaker. Yeah. Sorry. Schoonmaker.
Schoon. No, Schoon.
Schoon.
No, Schoon. It's a Schoonmaker.
But it's a SCH.
Well, there's no
Schoon.
Don't say the H. It's just Schoonmaker.
Schoonmaker. Luke Schoonmaker.
Yes.
Tight end. Kind of a Dalton Schultz replacement. Caleb, break it down.
Yeah, another Michigan guy, back-to-back Michigan. players. Everybody thought we were going tight end in the first round. I think that's why the Bills traded up right before us to take Kincaid. I'm not sure if we would have gone tight end. I don't believe so. I think they were always going to go with Mozzie Smith because of the other teams were calling the Cowboys to trade up so they can take Mozzie Smith, and the Cowboys did not want to trade back to take their guy. So that's why it makes me believe that they were always going to take the defensive tackle instead of the tight end in the first round, and especially the way everything fell. Everything was falling that none of the tight ends were going to take. So even if we didn't take a tight end, there was going to be plenty of tight ends to take in later rounds. So I kind of feel that's what happened here. We didn't really need to feel the need to take one in the first round, so we take one in the second round, and we still got a great talent at tight end. And this goes again with this whole theme of not getting bullied by the 49ers for two times in a row, because this is another tough guy that's going to get in there. He's going to make blocks. I think that's his big ability. That reason why we're so interested in him is his ability to block, especially in the run block. Because that's what Mike McCarthy said in his press conference, that he wants to run the damn ball. So if he wants to run the damn ball, run it right behind, Terrence Steele run Terrence Steele and Schoonmaker right off that right edge, and we're going to get a lot of yards doing that. I think that's why they took him here. Also, but he's not just a blocker. He has a great ability to catch the ball. He can do both, like that Jason Witten type that he can kind of will pass, run block, and is a great pass catcher as well. Has some good athletic ability. So I love the pick. Like I said, you said we got rid of Dalton Schultz. We need a replacement. I still like the guys that we had already in Peyton Hendershot and Jake Ferguson. He's just going to go right along there. We're going to have three really good tight ends out there, and we'll see who's the best one. And I think they can all make plays. Like I said, he's going to be the best blocker of the group, and the other two are really good pass catchers and good playmakers. That's going to really help Dak, and that was the main thing. Like I said, Dak likes to throw to his tight end. Like that's his main target. That's who safety blanket, whether it's Jason Witten or Dalton Schultz, and now maybe Luke Schoonmaker. Dak Prescott loves to throw to his tight end, and he's going to help Dak out, and hopefully it's going to help him not throw so many interceptions. So I do love this pick with tight end, because that's like I said, another need that we filled there.
Yeah, because it right here in the strengths displays the fortitude necessary for NFL run blocking, keeps a wide base into and through his sustained blocks, and impressive feel for hand resets as a base blocker. He's going to be your blocking tight end, while Ferguson and Hendershot, kind of operate in that receiver mold. I don't know which one's more receiver than not. He seemed kind of both receivers, but I think it was either.
Yeah, but I think they're both pretkind good. Yeah, Hendershot's a little bit better because he's a little faster, a little bit more of a playmaker. But Jake Ferguson's kind of the both kind of could do both. Type of guy.
But there are some weaknesses though. He fails to impose his size on smaller defenders. So there's that. But that's just more of like wanting to do it. If he wants to do it, I think he can do it. Personally. So there's that. All right. Break it down. I'm trying to. I'm back. Give me a minute. I gotta fix something on my notes. I apologize. One moment. Because the next Giants pick is pretty. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about this next Giants pick. All right, the pick is in the third round. The New York Giants actually traded up to 73 for this pick because they were actually picking it in the 80s. So they went up a cool amount. The New York Giants drafted wide receiver Tennessee Jaden Jalen Hyatt. Hyatt. It took him. He was a 4-star recruit. It took him. He waited his turn to become a star receiver. He actually waited. He waited actually, which is what as a freshman he had 20 catches for 276 and 2 touchdowns in 10 games. And then same in sophomore, same kind of stat line. And then as a junior this past year, he was AP All-American. He had 67 receptions. He ranked 5th with 12,067 receiving yards, 18 yards a catch, 19 yards a reception. He was tied for second with 15 touchdowns and 12 starts. Lance Zierlein, his comp, Deshaun Jackson. That's what he said. This is his comp, Deshaun Jackson. Burner, fast, speed. That is the game. Speed kills. Caleb Wright, the famous phrase, speed kills. Speed kills. But here's the thing too, man. You know why I think I think the college offense didn't allow him to run a full route tree because the way Josh Heupel calls his offenses. But there's this video of him talking actually to a Dallas Cowboy representative. And he's talking to the Dallas Cowboy representative where he's like, yeah, man, we know what you are. We know what the skill set is. And he's like, and Jalen Hyatt's like, what's the skill set, dog? What's the skill set? You know? It's like, what is it? What's the skill set? You fast. You fast, man. He's like, yeah, I'm fast. But watch me run routes real quick. And he cuts to him running routes, crisp, precise routes. You know? And he can, I think, here's the thing. Brian Daboll is going to make him a better receiver. Because you have to learn to run routes. Because this offense, you know, like it's the Bills offense from 2 years ago. It's a lot of option, a lot of, overloading routes where like one goes high, one goes low. So you need to run the routes properly. Because you need to like put defenders in no man's land where it's like, should I go high? If I go high, they just jump it low. If I go low, they'll go high. So you need to learn that. And I think Jalen Hyatt can. His strengths, top end speed, creates tension. He's gonna blow the top off. Him, Darren Waller, Darius Slayton, they just blow the top off. Just blow the top off, man. He maintains his spacing from physical coverage is pretty nice. He glides into acceleration. His pitch and catches, bro. You throw it, he run it. 5 yards, you turn it to 50. You know, he led the nation in 60-yard receptions. He led the nation in 50-yard receptions. He led the nation in 30-yard receptions. He led the nation in 40-yard receptions. So bombs away. Bombs away. That's all I got to say.
You guys have too many of these. Didn't you just get a smaller type of speed receiver in Wanda Robinson last year?
But here's the thing. Jalen Hyatt's not small. He's 6'1".
Yeah, he's 6 foot and he's 176 pounds.
Yeah. He'll add some more beef. It's fine. Yeah, add more beef. Look at Devontae.
A lot of those little guys running around.
So why you keep saying little guys, dude? Colin Johnson's 6'6". Isaiah Hodgins is 6'4". We have only 3 receivers under 5'10". Stop with that small receiver. We don't got small receivers. As well as we also got a UDFA in Bryce Ford Wheaton, who's 6'4" and runs a 4.3. So miss me with your nonsense. All right, what's up with this? All right. I think that's one of the weaknesses. Well, this is one of the like you said, one of the weaknesses was a lean frame, play strength, route tree, unsuccessful holding ground when catch. You know, it's all about strength. You know, a director of scouting for an NFC team said when you have someone who can run like Hyatt, you get explosive catches, but also really benefits your running game because safeties can't get involved as much. He reminds me a lot of watching Will Fuller when he's healthy. God, I don't want to hear that name. That's not very good. But I digress. He's a boom or bust potential, basically. Either he's gonna be really good or really bad. Yeah, he is 6 foot. That's true. He's 6 foot. But yeah, I'm happy about this pick. All three, the first three picks, Caleb, they were all projected at us at 25, and we got all three of them in the first 3 rounds. I think we knocked it out of the park. Currently, it's an A. It's an A plus for the New York Giants currently, in my opinion. But now let's move on to the other team in blue. All right, the pick is in. The Dallas Cowboys selected in the 3rd round none other than Texas linebacker DeMarvin Overshown. We actually had you select him in our mock draft, Caleb. When you saw DeMarvin
in the 3rd round, I got it exactly right.
In the 3rd round, it's true.
In the 3rd round, I said in our mock draft, I had the Cowboys taking DeMarvin Overshown, and I got one right. So I feel this is my favorite pick, obviously, because I am a Texas Longhorn fan. I have watched this guy play for my Longhorns. And yeah, that's why I wanted us to take him, and we took him right where I said that we would take him. So I love this. This is a guy we just drafted another Donovan Wilson, because that's basically how he played at Texas. Because Donovan Wilson is that hybrid type of safety linebacker, nickelback type of player. He's a big hitter.
He's a former safety, DeMarvin.
Yeah, he played safety. That's what I was saying. We basically drafted another Donovan Wilson to go along with, 2 other Donovan Wilsons, and Jaron Curse and Donovan Wilson himself. And now we have another guy like just like that, and DeMarvin Overshown. If we have like 3 of those type of guys that can cover a little bit, can have speed, can have range, and can hit hard, because they all can do that. That seems great for us. We needed, like I said, we needed another linebacker, because we got rid of Anthony Barr. We have a space there available for him to go right there if he's ready to take that position. We have a spot open for him to go alongside Leighton Vander Esch. And when we're only running a lot of time, we're only doing a 2 linebacker set when Michael Parsons is blitzing, or he's on the edge. There's usually we only have 2 linebackers there. Usually that was Anthony Barr. So we need another guy there. But our linebackers look good now, because we have Damone Clark now. We have Leighton Vander Esch in the middle, and now we have Overshown on the other side. So I like I said, I love what I saw with when I saw him play the Longhorns, and now he's only going to play for the Cowboys. So absolutely, this was my favorite pick of the draft.
Violence is the way I'm describing DeMarvin Overshown. He's a former. He did have some injury concerns. He got hurt his freshman year, but he did stay healthy the full year of 2022. His first team all conference, but the problem is he's playing defense in the Big 12. You're playing defense in the Big 12. I'm sorry, like defenders in the Big 12, they don't really pan out like that. Like, when's the last one that you think really panned out? Like, I hope I'm wrong, but actually I hope I'm right, because it means that the Cowboys messed up. But I can't get past the Big 12 level. The Big 12 don't play no defense, man. Like, I'm sorry. Malcolm Rodriguez in Detroit, whatever. So, yeah, he's a safety. A lot of former safeties become linebackers because like they're not fast enough to be safety. But he's he's only.
I think he's fast enough.
As a safety or a linebacker?
Both. I mean, I think he's fast for a safety, fast for a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Well, that's the thing. Nowadays, the linebackers are. He's 6'3", 230, 229. Most of these safeties now are that size. But the thing is, man, you need to disengage on blocks. You need to his frame is a little sleek. It's sleek, but he's a little slender. He needs to boost up his play strength. Has become more proactive in attacking blocks. Shout out to Lance Zerline with his breakdown. Shout out to you, Lance. He's just, I did see a lot on tape. He was always around the ball. He needs to reduce on the broken tackles because linebackers need to tackle in space. And if you're allowing people to break your tackle, then it's not good. It's not good. But yeah, there's DeMarvion Overshown. And now in the 4th round, well, no, the 5th round, because the New York Giants didn't have a 4th round pick. Pick is in. The New York Giants draft Eric Gray, running back out of Oklahoma by way of Tennessee. So there's that. Personally, myself, I don't really know much about this dude. Apparently he's supposed to be Miles Sanders is his comp, but personally there is another running back that we'll talk about a little later that I wanted the Giants to have because I think he would have been very good. I really know nothing about Eric Gray. Out of most of the running backs I knew about were already gone. I want to make sure where Tajay Spears went. I want to make sure where he went. Tajay went when? 3rd round, 81. So yeah, we definitely weren't getting Tajay Spears. So that's fine. Reading this analysis, he has the potential to find work quickly as a 3-down backup, a 3rd down backup with future starter potential. He's a phenomenal catcher out of the backfield was what I found out when I researched him. Instant acceleration. He jab cuts at sharp angles without losing speed. He's fast. He's not as powerful. He's not a home run hitter if you think about it as well. But he's a 3rd down back. He's a 3rd down back. He's kind of like a respite for Saquon Barkley. Well, Saquon Barkley can be on all 4 downs, catching, receiving. This could give, Eric Gray. He's basically like saying like, hey, Saquon, come, if Saquon's on the team, kind of be like, hey, Saquon, come here and just chill. Eric Gray's gonna go in there. So there's that. I don't really know much about the guy. I'm gonna be real with you, Caleb. Yeah. Did you know anything about him? Because he's from Oklahoma and you're from Texas and you have to like watch each other. Anything?
Yeah. I mean, no, not really. I watched Oklahoma. I don't know the players on Oklahoma. Just watching them to lose.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, I digress. Now let's move on. All right, where did Muthana get drafted? All right, the pick is in. The Dallas Cowboys select defensive end Viliami Fehoko Jr. out of San Jose State. Is this Simi Fehoko's brother?
You would think, but it is not. It is not.
They're not
he is
related.
not related to Simi Fehoku, but he is related to another NFL player. He is.
Who?
He is the cousin to Vita Vea.
Is Vita Vea's cousin?
He's part of that family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So KB, I'll draft him in the 4th round, pick 27. Break it down. What did you think?
I'm saying with you, I don't know too much about him. I'm really watching San Jose State a lot, so don't know too much about this guy. I just a big guy that can he can get after the quarterbacks, and that's what I liked about him is his production is to get tackles and to get sacks. At his size at defensive end, it's different from what we usually have. We have more slender guys like Parsons or an Armstrong. Those type of guys are more slender built than this guy. So I'm not sure what we'll do with him at deep spin or going to bump him inside. We can play play him, whatever. Well, I'm sure Dan Quinn knows how to what he wants to do with this guy. But all I know is that he can get the quarterback, and he's gonna help us set the edge and the rush defense. So that's what I like about him. So like I said, more defensive help to any defensive help to with Dan Quinn. It's gonna. I just believe it's gonna work out to me.
All right, yeah, hey man, yeah, he went to St. Francis High School out of San Francisco. Nice. He's a local kid. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the only problem with people like him, Caleb, is competition, right? It's competition. He's from San Jose State. He played in the Mountain West. His stats are he posted 44 tackles for losses and 22 sacks over the past 3 seasons. That's pretty impressive in college, especially. But the thing is, he played in the Mountain West. San Jose State during the COVID year had a great season, but it was COVID, so it threw everything kind of out of whack. Due to this player bio or analysis from shout to Lance Zerline, you can either have him as a base end in 4-3, which I think you guys run a 4-3, right? No, you don't run a 4-3.
Yeah, we run 4-3.
Run a 4-3.
Yeah, we do.
Or you can use him as a hybrid end to tackle in a 3-4 if you tell him to add weight. Again, it's all about competition. Does it translate to the NFL because you played at San Jose State? Can you do it? He uses bull rush to knock tackles off balance before countering. Play demeanor can be aggressive. He's nasty. He plays with force, violent hands.
And that's kind of the theme of this draft. Like I said, big tough guys that we're trying to build this defense. Because, like I said, I keep saying it, we're sick and tired of getting bullied by the goddamn 49ers. And that's why we're trying to get these big, nasty, tough guys that are going to get in there and give it when the 49ers give it to us, we're going to give it right back to them. And I think that's what the Cowboys are trying to do, and that's what I think they. If everything works out, I mean that's going to be how our defense is going to play like, and pretty much our team's going to play like.
All right, but now let's speed up a little faster. We're going to get down to the last bits. A lot of these players we don't really know. The pick is in. The New York Giants draft Trey Hawkins III, Old Dominion. He's a cornerback, another cornerback depth. Some people assume that this kid is going to be our cornerback 2 in a couple years, which means Deonte Banks becomes cornerback 1. He becomes cornerback 2. We did have another cornerback from Old Dominion as one of our cornerbacks back in the day. Corey Ballentine, I believe, was his name. Shout out to Corey. Corey's no longer with us anymore, so there's that. He was his draft production was a priority free agent. He wasn't supposed to get drafted. Lance Zerline had a UDFA grade on him. His strengths are a combination of size, length, long speed, active hands, are accurate with press punch, able to phase and stride with deep routes from press, showed improvement in coverage from 21 to 22, can attack, shed blocks quickly in run support. His weaknesses are pre-snap instincts are lacks proficiency in route recognition and anticipation, frequently a step slower in making the jump on the throw, hips get sticky when he bites on route misdirection, struggles to toggle between coverage and ball location. So there's that. I don't really know much about him. I've never really seen him play. I'm still waiting on my tape guy to give me something to watch. I hear good things, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on if he makes the team or not. All right. Now we'll move on to the Dallas Cowboys selection in the 5th round. The pick is in. You guys drafted offensive tackle Asim Richards out of North Carolina. Caleb, what did you see from him?
Yeah, I'm surprised that we didn't go offensive liner sooner. Tells me that the Cowboys are comfortable with the offensive line the way it is. Because obviously if you draft a guy in the 5th round, you're not expecting them to go right there and start at left guard. So apparently they have a plan for that left guard spot. Whether they really, I guess they really like this, the new free agent they signed in Chuma Doga or something like that.
You guys got Chuma Doga, okay.
Yeah. Apparently, I guess they really like him, or we might have taken a guard higher, or an offensive lineman higher than we did. So apparently we're comfortable at the position. Maybe they bump someone down, whether it's Terrence Steele or Tyler Smith, or well, however they set the line. I guess they just like what they like. But as far as this guy, he's off the tackle. Like I said, we might play him at guard. Might bump him down because that's the position that we need. But yeah, he has a lot of experience in college, so that's good. We always like smart offensive linemen that have a lot of experience at position, and he has got a little bit of position flex in that because that's what we need. For a guy to go from tackle to guard, because that's pretty much what Tyler Smith was doing all last season, going from tackle to guard. So if he can do that, then he'll fit right in with the Cowboys.
All right, perfect. Now we're moving on to the Giants. Last two picks. All right. Boom, the pick is in. The New York Giants drafted defensive tackle Jordan Riley out of Oregon. I know about Jordan Riley. He's he's a block eater. He's a block eater. He's a pretty big dude too. He's a block eater. That's what he is. He can get two people and just keep them there. He doesn't really get a lot of sacks, but it's all about eating the blocks, right? And it's just it's run defense. And I think that's he's gonna be told to do, just run defense a lot. And that's pretty much all where he really is, because you're not gonna really ask him to do much besides be a rotational piece. Caleb, like I always said on the show and Good Friends But Rivals, Joe Shane is gonna beef up the middle. He's gonna beef up the middle. Ashawn Robinson, Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Jordan Riley, Nacho. It's just beef. It's just humongous human beings, just large humans. Like, run on them. Just like, that's what it was. Just large humans who can take up two blocks and keep you there, and boom, disengage. I didn't see a lot of disengagement. He would just block and just stay there. I want him to like disengage if the running back is going left, disengage, go left, disengage, go right. Kind of that. But if the worst case thing is he just keeps them there, that's good. That's good for Jordan Riley. All right. And then now the Dallas Cowboys. Pick is in. Dallas Cowboys selected cornerback Eric Scott Jr., Southern Mississippi. Caleb, your thoughts on Eric Scott Jr.?
What pick is that?
That's the one after Asim Richards. Round 6, pick 1.
Oh, was?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. Okay, I totally missed this guy. I didn't even see what
178
we got.
overall.
Yeah, I totally missed that. Yeah, I don't really tell too much about it because I didn't even know we drafted him. Because I was focused on the other 6th round.
Yeah, let me read the profile. The profile of Eric Scott Jr. was he's a big long corner with untapped press potential. An aggressive tester with 39-inch arm, 39-inch vertical leap, and 11-1 broad jump. Looks to jump underneath routes from zone shuffle. Bodies up targets. Challenges the cat. Shout out to Lance Zerline for this information. He squeezes vertical routes and will find ball when he's in position. Quick to jumping off the edge when diagnosing the run. Weaknesses: transition fluidity is missing from the game. So probably his hips, from transitioning from the hips. Has trouble mirroring release fakes and route breaks. Takes inconsistent angles to tackle receivers after the catch. Scheme-specific capabilities limit his fit with some teams. Need to play with better discipline as a run defender. So he basically drafted a big corner. And Dan Quinn loves himself some big corners. Basically.
He does. That cornerback spot, we got rid of. Andy Brown in the offseason, but we still got Jordan Lewis in there. Obviously, we traded for Stephon Gilmore. So and then we have Deron Bland in the slot. So it's gonna be tough for him to get on the field with those guys in front of him. But if anything like Deron Bland was a late round pick just last year, and he turned out to be a hell of a player. So if he's anything like that and comes in and any opportunity he has to show what he can do, and he turns out to be good, and then hey, that's great for us.
All right. Now the pick is in. The last pick for the new Giants. The pick is in. We drafted safety, strong safety, Javaris Owens out of Houston, 6 foot, 195, 32-inch arms, 9.5-inch hands. Athleticism score up the wazoo. He's 5th at the combine. He was projected to go in the 4th round. We got him in the last round, I think, in round 7. So value was good there. He has the physical ingredients to play safety. Shout out to Lance Zierlein once again. The mistakes he puts on tape should be a concern, though. His cornerback background shows the way he matches route breaks from man coverage, but he lacks field vision and instinct to become a consistent playmaker from man or zone. He's a willing and physical hitter. Yes, hitting is key in Wink Martindale's defense. His angles be bad. He misses too many tackles after the catch and in run support. He has it's traits. He's a trait guy. He's a trait guy. He's a trait guy, basically. This is what you do with 7th round picks. You look at the traits. You see, can you fix him? If you can't, you can't. You cut him. You don't really waste nothing. Lance Zierlein says the issues may be difficult to fix. So this kid may not even be on our team. He was a team captain, 4-year starter, usually stays deeper than the deepest as high safety. Covers with decent route anticipation in the slot. Cornerback experience. So he played corner. Now he played safety. Big nickel consideration. Steps downhill quickly to attack the line. And he's a hitter. He's a hitter, bro. He's a hitter. He dropped interceptions. That's very bad. Field recognition as a safety, you need it. If you don't have it, I don't think you're good. I think this pick is probably it's not gonna bite them in the derriere because it's the 7th round. And basically 7th round picks are UDFA people, or some of the UDFA people should have been drafted, but they told people not to talk to them in the 7th round because they became UDFAs. So there's that. 7th round pick, you're betting on traits and see if your coaches can fix. If your coaches can't fix, it is what it is. But now we're going to the last 2 picks. The pick is in. The Dallas Cowboys drafted Kansas State running back Deuce Vaughn. Caleb, talk about Deuce Vaughn. And then I'll talk about why I'm upset you guys drafted Deuce Vaughn. Go.
Yeah, this was a great moment in the draft. I don't know if anybody saw the video on this. His father is a scout for the Dallas Cowboys, and he got to make the call to his son that he was drafted by the Cowboys, and he's very emotional making the call. He gets he scouted his son, gets to bring him on the team that he works for. So that was an awesome moment to see just with that. But he's a small guy. He is an extremely small guy. He is 5'5". That is a small running back there. Really small running backs. He said Emmitt Smith was too small to play running back back in the day. Obviously, this guy's pretty small too. And but it's just we need to have a plan for this type of his skill set and have a plan going into how to use him. Because when Tony Pollard came in here, they had all this. They talk all this stuff about how we're going to use him doing this and that, and they basically wasted like 3 years of Tony Pollard's career because they didn't know how to use him. And that was mainly squarely on Kellen Moore. He did not know how to use Tony Pollard. Wasted first 3 years of his career because he didn't know how to use him. So as long as we know how to use this type of running back that with his size and skills, going into it, obviously I think they do. Because obviously for the Cowboys, so I think he would know what best his son can do. what's he best at and how he can best help the Cowboys. I mean, Kansas City win a Big 12 championship, so you can definitely say that about him. I as long as we know what we're doing with them, I really like the pick.
I love this pick. I wanted the Giants to draft him. Literally, I'm looking at his combine profile. His athleticism score is 56, which is pretty bad, but just because he's 5'5", just because he's short. Caleb, that's pretty much it. Hey, Caleb, let me remind you. You remember Kansas State had this other short running back who had like a 15-year career. He goes by the name of I think his name was Darren Sproles. I think his name was Darren. You know what Darren Sproles also did for Kansas State? He also helped them win a Big 12 title. You know how tall Darren Sproles is? He's 5'5", 5'6". He is Deuce. No, I'm not saying he is Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn is him. Kansas State just found another Darren Sproles clone, and the Dallas Cowboys drafted him. Him against big Power 5 competition. He had over 100 yards on almost every occasion. You know, he's short. He's short. That's the knock. He's short. He's a short guy.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something more about Deuce Vaughn. He was an immediate impact guy at Kansas State. He won freshman All-American honors, Big 12 Offensive Freshman of the Year after leading the Wildcats with 642 rushing yards, 5.2 yards a carry, 7 touchdowns. 5.2 yards a carry at 5'5", and 434 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 25 receptions, 17.4 per reception. He also returned kicks. He did not do that as a sophomore because he became the number 1 back, so he stopped returning kicks. His sophomore year, he was 9th in the nation with 1,404 rushing yards, 6.6 yards a carry. He was tied for 8th with 18 rushing touchdowns. He also led Kansas State with 49 receptions, 4 touchdowns, 468 yards, 9.6 yards a catch, starting all 13 games, earning first-team All-American honors as an all-purpose player and second-team All-Big 12 honors accolades. He repeated those honors in 2022. He ranked 8th in the FBS with 1,558 rushing yards while scoring 9 touchdowns on the ground. He led the FBS with 1,936 all-purpose yards over 14 starts. They say he's J.J. Taylor. I disagree. You know, literally, he's short. An AFC scout says, a regional scout for the AFC said, he's tough, he's fun to watch, but it's impossible to sell in our building because of the size. I think he makes it in the league, though. I can't sell him because he's 5'5", but he's going to make it in the league. It's a Cowboys pick. Cowboys not caring what the league thinks. Cowboys going in unconventional wisdom, saying let's draft Travis Frederick. Let's draft Mozzie Smith. Let's draft the 5'5" running back. Let's do our own thing. I wanted him.
Yeah.
I didn't want Eric Gray because I knew nothing about Eric Gray. I knew everything about Deuce Vaughn though, and I think he would have been a great compliment to Saquon Barkley. But now I have to face this man 2 times a year for the next 10 years. I swear to God, if he becomes Boston Scott, I'm going to kick somebody in the face. I'm having issues. That moment was all fun and nice. It was all cute. It was very sweet. But I don't care about that moment. I wanted him in New York Giants blue, not Cowboys blue. Very upset. All right. Now the last pick. The pick is in. The Dallas Cowboys drafted wide receiver Jalen Brooks, South Carolina. Caleb, what did you think of this pick? Because I don't think it looked very good at all. Because the man ran a 4.69 40-yard dash.
Yeah.
35-inch vertical. What are we going for?
Yeah, I mean it's a 7th round pick. Obviously, you know they drafted for a reason. they know what to look for, what type of receiver that they're looking for. He's 6'1", so he's got some size to him. We kind of like those type of guys. We don't usually, besides, Cavante Turpin's kind of like an outlier for the type of style of receiver. We usually listen to this type of style of receiver. We usually go after. So it feels typical. I mean, it's 7-round pick. So I mean, he has a long line of receivers he has to get through to if he's even going to make the team. Because we still got Jalen Tolbert still there. Maybe he shows up this year, maybe he doesn't. But we still got Fahoko, we still got a bunch of other guys are in that receiver room. So it's gonna be tough. He has a lot of guys in front of him, but if he shows out, then hey, then it works out.
All right. That's it. That's the last picks of the drafts of the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. But speaking of the Philadelphia Eagles,
So you want to talk about the Eagles, the Philadelphia Bulldogs?
What the hell's going on, man? I'm sorry. No GM is this good. I'm sorry. Something's going on. So you're telling me Jalen Carter drops, and the Raiders don't think about picking him up at 6? What are we doing here? From 6 to 8, he wasn't a thought. The Falcons drafted Bijan Robinson at 8, so he was definitely not reaching the 20s, which threw me off.
No.
But Jalen Carter wasn't in the discussion, really. Really? What are we doing here, man? And then Nolan Smith falls to 30 because of his pectoral. And then they draft Keely Ringo at 105. And then they trade for DeAndre Swift. What are we doing here, man? No one's this good. I'm sorry. Something's off. Why is it that he can make a call and make a deal like that? Something's weird, Caleb. Why is it that he can make deals like that, but every GM has to I'm very confused on how Howie Roseman operates with these other GMs. He apparently there's a report that other GMs are mad that he gets so much credit. Well, yeah, I would be too when 2 to 3 times a year he embarrasses you. Something's off. I'm sorry. Something's off, dog. It's probably a conspiracy theory. I'm probably going crazy. But Caleb, what's up with this? What's up with that? Why is every time it picks to win?
I don't know. They just have the guys fall to them that they want. 2 years in a row now. They actually have to work out. There's nothing saying that Jalen Carter is going to work out for them or Nolan Smith's going to work out for them. These guys that we obviously the experts predicted very high to go very high, considering their Jalen Carter's tape or Nolan Smith how he did at the combine. So obviously predicted to do really well. We don't know. Jordan Davis didn't play really well. He played okay. Like I said, it wasn't like, when everybody was like, oh my God, they got Jordan Davis last year. He didn't really show oh my God, production last year. So we'll see. We'll see if they work out. And Ochoa didn't do anything last year. So like you said, everything's falling to. It looks like everything's falling to them, but we gotta see. Because if you're going by last year, then they really didn't do anything. That great.
It's true. They didn't win the title they should have won. You're right. Well, on that note, Caleb, where can people find you, my man?
You can find me at NFL Camp 22 and on this show, whenever we're doing the show.
Yeah, whenever we're gonna do the show, yes. My name's Ferris Malone. You find me at Ferris Malone on Twitter. I'm here on Good Friends Better Rivals. The plan is always to release it on Friday at 3:00. So there's that. So Friday, 3:00. That's the plan. So see you guys then. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to get all the notifications for us. But on that note, everyone, have a wonderful night. Stay smooth and stay safe.